Exciting times for Swindon Town fans, aren't they? Tickets for their Wembley appearance went on general sale today.
And tonight they have a chance to go 4 points clear at the top of League Two. They play Burton at the County Ground and David Passmore is there. David.
Yes, this really is one of the most fantastic runs in the club's history. Their 9th consecutive victory came on Saturday. That was a club record for the Football League, and you have to go back to the 1913-1914 season to get 10 victories in a row when they used to play in the Southern League. But that, of course, is all for the statisticians. What the fans think, who are coming here tonight, who are coming back in great numbers, buoyed by the success and buoyed by the Di Canio factor, is will Swindon remain in the top 3 automatic promotion places for the rest of the season?
Ever since I've been coming, they've been winning, so I'm just going to keep winning. I'm going to keep coming.
I think it's an excellent season. We're playing really well, really entertaining. Fans are really happy. Football's really good. Great improvement on last season, and I think people are looking forward to Wembley.
Di Canio has changed his team completely. Unbelievable style of football is just brilliant.
I do think Swindon will be promoted this season as league winners.
Well, a win tonight would take Swindon 4 points clear, as you say, clear of their nearest rivals, Cheltenham Town, who are also having a really successful season. But it would be also open up a gap of 8 points between Swindon and 4th spot, where they would miss out on automatic promotion, of course, and have to go into the playoff. Now, Swindon's 9th consecutive win came on Saturday with a victory over Accrington Stanley, but the manager wasn't that impressed with his side's second-half performance.
And I hope they can understand that it was absolutely wrong and prepare the game for Tuesday in the best way, because Tuesday for sure can be a very crucial day, because we play, many other clubs that don't play. If we win, we can extend the gap between us and the 4th place. It would be fantastic.
Well, joining me now is a lifelong Swindon fan, Dave Weston. Dave, how good is it to have such a successful run at the moment?
Oh, it's brilliant again now, especially after last year with relegation. And I do feel that our manager has gone a long, long way in getting us here. With full backing from our present board, who's done well as well. Yes, I think he's done absolutely brilliant.
Were you one of the doubters when he came in? Some people thought it might all go pear-shaped.
I never doubted him that, but I was a little bit dubious as to whether he had enough knowledge about the 2nd division. But he's proved us all that he does a thorough job, 100%. Absolutely brilliant, yes.
Brilliant. Well, enjoy tonight. Enjoy the rest of the season, Dave. Thanks very much indeed for joining us.
Top of the table, Swindon are hosting at Burton, Albion. Let's find out how that game's going along. Bob Hunt.
Yeah, just about 16 minutes gone, no goals, but as you would expect from a team who's won 9 on the spin, it really has all been Swindon. The best chance coming for the home side just a minute or so ago when Ferry put Ritchie through and his shot just agonisingly went past the right-hand post. Before that, Benson had for a split second a one-on-one chance in the penalty area, and they needed a very good tackle, a firm tackle from Nathan Stenton, one of the twin centre-halves of Burton, to deprive him. No goals, but I don't think Wes Fotheringham in the Swindon goal literally hasn't touched it. No goals, about 16 minutes gone.
Let's find out if there's any sign of a goal at the county grounds and join Bob Hunt.
No sign of a goal, really, and Paolo Di Canio, Swindon's manager, won't be very impressed because Swindon had all the possession, but truthfully haven't created too much pressure on the Burton Albion goal. They've had to make a change of Swindon. Jonathan Smith, he went off with looks like a bleeding nose. He's been replaced by Oliver Rizza, who's one of the changes that Paolo Di Canio made from Saturday's team, which he thought was a lacklustre performance against Accrington. Rizza was left out the side, but he's on now. Burton haven't made any inroads at all in the Swindon defence, but Swindon haven't created too many chances. And for Burton, well, Jack Dyer's been booked. No goals.
Into League Two, where Swindon Town haven't lost since Boxing Day. They're taking on Burton Albion, who haven't won since Boxing Day. But the home form a bit quiet, the home side a bit quiet tonight, Bob Hunt.
Yes, they are. They've got all the pressure, really, but they're not creating nearly as many chances as Paolo Di Canio would want. They're looking very pretty in the middle of the park, but really not putting too much pressure on the Burton goal. Having said that, in the last 5 minutes, a couple of rather half-hearted shots, one from Ferry and a free kick from Ritchie, but neither really troubled the Burton keeper. And at the other end, well, Swindon's defence redundant, really, having had little to do. But Swindon really need to put up the gears a little bit if they're going to make it 10 wins on the spin. No goals.
In League Two, Swindon looking to extend their winning league run to 10 games, taking on Burton Albion this evening. How they got on so far, Bob Hunt?
Well, they're not doing particularly well. It's no goals, and Paolo Di Canio is never one to keep his feelings under wraps, is he? Both as a player and a manager, and I don't think he'll be allowing his Swindon team too much chill-out time in the dressing room at half-time, because Swindon palpably the better footballing side, but really, although they're playing very prettily, very nicely, haven't put anything like as much pressure as they should on the Burton goal. Having said that, they did come quite close in virtually the last kick of the first half when Paul Caddis's 25-yard shot was brilliantly turned over by Ross Atkin, but they need to do better than that if they're going to increase their run to 10 wins on the trot. And if you listen carefully, you could probably hear Paolo Di Canio's team talk there in the studio.
Probably. Now to the county ground, where there's been some chances for top of the table. Swindon, Bob Hunt.
Well, still no goals, but I reckon that Paolo Di Canio team talk must have had some effect, because the first 5 minutes has been all Swindon. They've carved out 3 really decent chances. The first from a corner was almost headed into his own net by a Burton defender. Then Connell came close, and Ritchie really should have done better when he found the ball at his feet just some 12 yards out, managed to screw his shot wide, but still no goals to show for it. The crowd begins to get a little bit impatient. Of course, as you say, if Swindon win tonight, it's remarkable. 10 wins on the trot. Burton, on the other hand, haven't won since Boxing Day. No goals as yet.
We'll start with goal news from League Two. Top of the table, Swindon up against Burton. Has Paolo Di Canio's half-time team talk worked? Bob Hunt.
Absolutely, with knobs on it. It's now Swindon 1, Burton 0, and a goal inevitable after the way that Swindon started this half. Pressure, total pressure on the Burton defence. The goal, when it came, actually was a little bit scrappy. The ball coming in from the left-hand side, and Benson got a head down to it, and it was bundled in at the far post by Ronan Murray. And as you can hear, Swindon have scored a second. I'll tell you all about it when you come to us in just a moment. But Murray was the one who scored the first goal, and Swindon have now made it 2-0. And I tell you what, I reckon the floodgates may well open. So it's now 2-0. Murray, the substitute, got the first. I'll tell you who got the second as soon as I find out.
It took the League Two leader Swindon a while to get going this evening, but they've clicked into action now against Burton. Bob Hunt.
Yes, it's still 2-0 to Swindon. The introduction of substitute Ronan Murray seems to have turned the tide for the home side. Lacklustre in the first half, but really on fire in the second. He scored the first goal, made by Paul Benson, and the same 2 players are involved in the second. And here it is. This time it's Ronan Murray down the left-hand side, and his cross, and the ball is met by Benson, and he nets for Swindon's second goal. The home crowd, of course, wanting more. Paolo Di Canio, perfectionist, will certainly want more than this. Swindon are so much on top at the moment. There's surely more goals to come. There's about 17 minutes to go. It's Swindon 2, Burton Albion 0.
League Two, Swindon top of the table. We're 2-0 to the good against Burton. Can Burton do anything to stop them going 4 points clear at the top? Bob Hunt.
No, absolutely nothing at all. It's still Swindon 2, Burton 0, and Burton making only very rare forays into the Swindon half at all. It's the Swindon were by far the better side in the first half, and nothing to show for it. They're the better side in the second half by a country mile, and at least they got 2 goals to show for that advantage. Benson and Murray, the scorers. The home crowd are a little bit frustrated. They want more. I'm sure Paolo Di Canio does as well. 2-0. Looks like Swindon going 4 points clear.
It's all over now at the county ground. Have the league leaders Swindon made it 10 wins in a row, Bob Hunt?
Yes, they have. The Swindon bandwagon continues. 10 wins on the spin, and an unblemished league record in 2012. Having said that, though, Paolo Di Canio, I don't think will be totally impressed with his side's performance tonight, because they were palpably the better of the two teams. Burton Albion didn't produce any shots of note until the very last minute. That was the only time that Fotheringham in the Swindon goal was called into action, punching a ball away under pressure. Benson and Murray, the two scorers for Swindon. Sometimes their football, particularly at the beginning of the second half, was an absolute delight. But Di Canio, being the perfectionist he is, I think he would have wanted more. No matter though, they've done it. 10 wins on the trot. They're now 4 points clear of Cheltenham at the top of Division 2.
We told you already about League One. Let's tell you about what happened in League Two last night. 6 games, 22 goals in all. One game, Gillingham against Hereford United, stands out, doesn't it? That one really jumps off the page. But before we tell you about that goal fest at the Priestfield Stadium, let's tell you a bit about Swindon, who've extended their lead at the top of the table to 4 points after that 2-0 victory over Burton at the County Ground last night. That's a 10th straight league win for Paolo Di Canio's side. They are really in rude form at the moment, and they went ahead in the 53rd minute. Paul Benson heading across goal. Substitute Ronan Murray was there to finish. Just supplied the little touch it needed to guide it over the line. 5 minutes later, Luke Rooney set up Benson for his 100th career goal. Di Canio now calling on his players to extend their winning run. 12 wins in a row at home. Remember, they've also got a game in hand.
I'm very proud of them. I hope they're intelligent. I'm sure they're intelligent to keep going, because we want to do even more better than this, because they have the potential to keep going and go in the right way and win games.
Well, to football now, and Swindon Town made it a record 10 wins in a row last night for the first time in almost a century. The Robins beat Burton Albion at the County Ground 2-0 thanks to second-half goals from Ronan Murray and Paul Benson. It's opened up an 8-point gap between the town and the playoff places.
Swindon Town have extended their winning run to 10 games. The League Two leaders beat Burton Albion 2-0 at the County Ground last night, with second-half goals from Ronan Murray and Paul Benson. Swindon's lead at the top is now 4 points.